Hey everybody, John Van Dyke here for New Jersey Exposed. Today is Sunday, November 20th, 2022. Time is 3:29 p.m. Jersey time, and it is cold Jersey time. That's why I got the beanie on. If you see the beanie on my head, that means it's cold out. All right, so we got a new thing here. Our new Attorney General here in New Jersey has just put some new batteries in the flashlight and put a bigger bulb, a brighter bulb in the flashlight. And these blue cockroaches are running out of places to hide. So many of you may know, if you're already in here in New Jersey, you follow my channel. New Jersey, our last Attorney General, Gerber Grewal, had put a thing out there, started a thing where all the police departments in New Jersey have to report certain types of official misconduct. And basically, it comes down to this: if they're suspended more than 5 days, they have to report it and give a brief description of what the problem was. Unfortunately, when it comes to the brief description, it's very brief coming out of these departments. And it doesn't really give you a whole, excuse me, it's cold in my nose. It doesn't really, what I'm saying is that the police departments are being very avoidance in how they're going to portray this. They're covering. That's all they're doing. They're covering for their bad cops. That's what they're doing. So the new Attorney General, Matthew J. Platkin, who's a loony left Democrat, but in this case here, he is doing the right thing, and I'm glad he's doing it. And this just came out recently. This just released recently. It was on NJ.com, but unfortunately NJ.com wants me to pay to read the article, and I'm not going to do that. So here we go. We're going to read the Attorney General's media release. And it reads as follows. AG Platkin expands disclosure of law enforcement disciplinary records. In other words, I forgot to mention, here in New Jersey, they're going to put a report out. I think it's once a year. It might be twice a year, but let's just be safe. It's once a year. And you can go to, it listed by county, so you can go there, look up your county, and see if your police department's in there. And then from there, you can see which officer has been suspended, if any, and what the actions were. Like, I'll give an example. Long Branch had a cop over there, disregard of property or something like that, and he got suspended for a week, but it doesn't say what he did. You know, he could have drove the car into a telephone pole for all we know, or backed in and broke lights and whatever. So anyway, it doesn't say that. So now, so you can go and you can find out if there's any problems in your town with bad cops. So this is going to change things. In other words, it's going to make that major disciplinary report that you can download. You just go to New Jersey AG, you can download it, PDF form, or you can just look at it online. I think that report is going to probably double or triple in size now. So anyway, here it is right here. This is from the AG Attorney's website. You go to it and just look on media release, and you can find these things. All right, let's find out. I'm going to try to get through this without getting too lengthy. Attorney General Matthew J. Platkin today issued a policy that significantly increases the annual public disclosure of serious misconduct by New Jersey law enforcement. This action builds upon a 2020 Attorney General directive that required agencies to report each year synopsis of any major discipline, including issued termination, demotion, suspensions in more than 5 days. Today's policy adds the following categories of discipline to the annual release regardless of the discipline imposed: discrimination of bias, excessive force, well, they all do that, untruthfulness or lack of candor, so we got liars, they have to report on liars. Well, that's pretty much the whole department, isn't it? Filing a false report or submitting a false certification in any criminal, administrative, employment, financial, and insurance matter in their professional personal life. Oh, personal life. Intentionally conducting an improper search, seizure, or arrest. Well, that's all of them. Intentionally mishandling or destroying evidence. That's a bunch of them. Domestic violence. Well, that's all of them. Under the directive, by January 31st of each year, law enforcement agencies will report to the Attorney General and publish on their public website a brief synopsis of misconduct falling within the enumerated categories and the name of the officers involved. The director requires that the synopsis provide a sufficient detail to enable a reader who is not familiar with the case to fully understand the factual scenario that resulted in disciplinary action. Boy, you know the unions don't like this. They really don't like this. And I'm sure the lieutenant or the captain, probably the lieutenant, has to sit down and do all that paperwork, because that's pretty much what a lieutenant does. They're going to like that, because that means they got to do more work now. They got to spend more time in front of the computer and less time looking at child porn. Reflecting these same transparency interests, a recent New Jersey Supreme Court decision, Rivera versus Union County Prosecutor's Office, 250 NJ 124 2022, say they didn't just do this because they're nice guys. They did it because there was a court order. Requires that a range of internal affairs reports may be publicly accessible under the common law right of access upon request. The directive lays out a framework to improve the efficiency of agencies' responses to requests for internal affairs records under the common law right of access, avoiding the need for burdensome litigation on all sides. Specifically, upon request by a member of the public or the press, if an incident falls within one of the enumerated categories discussed above, agencies will disclose a summary and conclusion report that sets forth a summary of the allegations, a summary of the factual findings, and the final discipline that was imposed. Boy, blue cockroaches aren't like that. They're running out of places to hide. The light is shining on them. Transparency is fundamental, ensuring confidence in the work. Confidence? No, it just reinforces my lack of confidence in them. In the work of law enforcement, said Attorney General Platkin, these disclosures of police internal affairs informative information are an unprecedented step in the promoting that transparency and a continuation of our efforts with respect to greater accountability and professionalism. The relationship between the law enforcement and community members will be better served by making this information publicly available. Well, relationship between law and the community members, better? No, it's just gonna, listen, it's not gonna help the cops, that's for sure, because they try to hide and manipulate any information as regarding to the back crap that many of them do, and it just sheds more light on who they really are as a group, which we all know they're all a bunch of violent, many of them are prone to violence. It's a violent culture. Now again, I'll put my little disclaimer. Not all cops are like that. Some are good. Now, I know a few cops. I would be sorely disappointed if I found out they were doing some crazy crap, but I would not be surprised. But I know there are some police officers out there. I've met them, just talking to them within 2 seconds, especially after I just met them, and I just see it in me and I go, this guy doesn't do bullshit stuff. I can pick out thugs right away. I am well trained and experienced with dealing with thugs. Being the smallest guy in my school, my grade, I got to know all the thugs, all the bullies, okay? So I have that extra sensory perception through life training skills, and I can just talk to somebody with a guy in a couple seconds, a minute or two. I can tell if he's a bully or not. I can, the testosterone. I have receptory sensories that I can pick up on that testosterone. Anyway, let's get back to the story here. The Attorney General's directive issued today reflects careful and balanced policy making, and the end result serves a variety of important interests, including improving transparency and avoiding burdens on law enforcement agencies receiving public records requests, said Thomas J. Eckert, Executive Director of Office of Public Integrity and Accountability. Public support for law enforcement is essential, and effective, transparent internal affairs process is vital to that support. See, when these records are going to become more and more available, that means there's going to be more and more evidence, and this backs up a lot of things that I'm saying, other people say, that there's a lot of bad cops out there, and they're being covered for, and it's not just isolated incidents, unless you go by the new meaning of isolated incident, which is it's something that happens all the time, we just pretend it doesn't. New Jersey State Police is committed to incorporating practices that foster transparency and accountability in order to build trust with the communities we serve, said Colonel Patrick J. Callahan, blah, blah, blah. We have an established system with multiple layers of oversight and cover-ups meant to identify and potentially deficient patrol practices or behaviors on the... Yeah, okay. Yeah, you sure do. You don't do anything until the camera catches. Once the camera catches, that's when the policies are implemented. Well, geez, we got caught on camera again. All right, let's see. Can we rewrite the narrative? All right, well, I guess we can't. So we'll just move forward with the charges, and once it's all settled and we can try to rewrite the narrative in court, we'll publish the findings. Let's see. So let's see. Okay, this latest effort by Attorney General Plotkin to provide greater transparency to the public comes after his office in September made a variety of de-identified internal affairs information readily available online through a new dashboard of internal affairs statistics, searchable by law enforcement agencies, the alleged infractions involved, and the disciplinary actions taken. The dashboard at njoag.gov/IAPP enables the viewers to filter the data by active and closed investigation as well as anything. So, all right, so this is very good. Where New Jersey is moving in the right direction. That's probably one of the good things these Democrats that are running our state here are doing, particularly the Attorney General, is they're exposing bad cops. They're not allowing these blue cockroaches, and that's what I call them now. These bad cops, they're blue cockroaches. They're just, they're leeches on society, and when we try to expose them, they run and hide, and the gang covers for them, and but they're running out of places to hide, and New Jersey's doing I want to give New Jersey Attorney General a thumbs up for that. That these reports are going to be modified and have more information in and report on more crimes that these bad cops do. And also the licensing of police officers, but I'm not sure what's going on with that right now. They implemented, whether it's happening yet, I don't know. But we're moving in the right direction, and hopefully at some point we can get a hold of their personnel records. That would be nice, get a hold of the personnel records. And the other thing I'd like to see become publicly available online is lawsuit settlements. Every time you go and you sue the police, and trust me, I know this one for sure. It wasn't a lot of money involved. It was very little money involved, so it wasn't a big issue for me. I was more about getting them to unblock me on Facebook. But, a lot of these stories, these lawsuits, when you sue somebody, you're not allowed, you always end up settling with a clause in it that says non-disclosure, meaning that if I sue a particular town because the officer picked me up, slammed me down, broke my ribs, and kicked me in the face, and put his knee on my neck, and and there was a camera rolling and caught all of it, and I won a lawsuit, say for $1 million. I'm not allowed to talk about it. And that's one of the things I said to Mr. Hodges, James Hodges, our hero and patriot down in Florida. I said to him, I plead with you, don't take a non-disclosure on this. You might have, just stick to your guns on that. That way, when you get done with the lawsuit, you can come on YouTube, the news, whatever it's going to be, and you can talk about it and expose the bullshit, because these towns will settle these lawsuits and with that non-disclosure. And the other thing that the towns will do is they'll put in there saying that, they admit no wrongdoing. That's part of the settlement, that there'll be no wrongdoing admitted by the town, which is bullshit. We all know it's bullshit, but this is a game. And people, for the most part, I think, sell out, and they just want that money. They see the dollar bills, they want the money, and so they take it. And the lawyer wants the money. He wants to settle as fast as possible so he can get his 30% of it. And this is what happens, and that's another thing that needs to be changed. So, Attorney General Plotkin, if you're out there, we need to start making these lawsuit settlements publicly available online, so if I want to go find out what happened, I can find out what happened. I'm John Van Dyke for New Jersey Exposed. I'll put that link in the description. You can go read the whole story yourself if you want, and let me know what you think about it. Blue cockroaches, getting a bigger light being shined on them. They're running out of places to hide. Till next time, people.